Alright guys, what's up? It's me, the Cozy Representative. So, recently, the big news right now is that the Rockfeed guy announced that sources are saying that Warped Tour is supposed to come back in 2025 next year. Before we get into anything, does anybody else think that this guy's YouTube setup make him look terrifying? Like, does this guy look insane, or is that just me? Every time I click on one of this guy's videos, he looks like the supervillain from like a Cartoon Network show, and he's like phoning in on a little TV to tell everybody he's bombing the whole East Coast. It's just a little much. I don't know. His shirt says Live, Laugh, Limp Bizkit in like black metal font. Like, all right. Anyways, but this guy, the Rockfeed guy, apparently sources are stating that next year in 2025, the Vans Warped Tour is supposed to be coming back. It's going to be hosted by Live Nation now. And original founder Kevin Lyman has something to do with it, but it's a Live Nation thing. And of course, it's not going to be like it was back in the day. It's going to be just a few festival appearances here and there next year. I've been going online and I've been seeing some bands being like, making TikToks being like, hey, do we fit the bill for Warped Tour? And hey, can you help get us on Warped Tour? And some people, some media people like this guy, the Rockfeed guy, are all excited about it. And that's nice. But I'm going to tell you why I think if Warped Tour were to return next year in the fashion that it's going to, I think it's going to be super corny, and I don't think it should happen. Before I go any further, I do want to say, in the grand scheme of things, I'm not a total pessimist. I'm not, I'm not trying to stand in anyone's way of having a good time and drinking some White Claws at a festival in the summer. In, the grand scheme of things, whatever. It's fine. Have fun at Warped Tour 2025. But here's why I personally, and call me pretentious, whatever, here's why I'm not excited for this, and I'm not typically the most excited for a lot of, emo nostalgia festivities. Let me just tell you my side of it, and maybe you'll hear me out. So I attended Warped Tour I went for the first time in 2008, and I went every single year until 2015. That's how many years? 7 years or something? No one make a Seosin joke. But yeah, it was a big part of my childhood. Obviously, as you can tell by this YouTube channel that I run now, this era and all those bands were very important and meaningful for me. It was a home as a youth. I found solace in it. It was important to me, etc., etc. When I started this YouTube channel, the Cozy Representative, back in early 2019, at the time, things up until then, emo had become pretty irrelevant around 2013 and on, maybe a little earlier. I don't know, just from my perspective, my era of it. Maybe I just started to grow out of it, I don't know. But I feel like in 2015, shit was dead. And then around 2016, 2017, you had things like Emo Night coming up. You had emo rappers on SoundCloud kind of bringing back the aesthetic. And there were rumblings of kind of an emo resurgence. And this was something that at the time, around when I started this channel, I was actually very excited about and optimistic about. Because emo, for me growing up, it was a genre that wasn't taken very seriously. It was looked at as a fad by serious music critics and real music people. And, we were made fun of for listening to this kind of shit. I was really happy to start to see emo and the bands that I grew up listening to kind of start to actually be, in retrospect, taken more seriously from a music journalism and music world standpoint. That was really exciting to me in 2019, the early rumblings of the emo revival, if you will. I was also excited to see maybe some new bands popping up and kind of bringing back that sound or bringing back elements of that sound and doing new kind of futuristic things with it. That was exciting to me. But here's the thing, and I've never really talked about this on the channel much. I feel like I've kind of hinted at it, but I've always been kind of like, I never really wanted to bum anybody out or be like one of those kind of hot take kind of guys when I come on here. Like, I like my channel, you know, I've always kind of liked my channel to be fun and lighthearted and more of documenting the past solely. So I've never really kind of given my thoughts on a lot of this stuff, but now I'm at a place where I feel like it's time to come out of my shell and tell you guys how I feel a little bit more. So around 2022 is when I had started really kind of losing hope and losing optimism for the whole emo revival thing. I really became tired of it and thought it was just becoming corny, like in a similar way to how people thought emo was corny the first time around, if I'm being honest. Oh, I forgot. I was going to roll some videos of like classic Warped Tour footage in the background. We were just looking at the scary rock sound guy the whole time. Sorry about that. Here's Chiodos. But look, I mean, like musically by 2022 or so, it was like the new artists of the emo revival era, aside some good stuff, like I liked Olivia Rodrigo and stuff. It's not really like something that I listen to on a daily basis personally, but I like her vibe. But like, you know, the whole Machine Gun Kelly explosion kind of made me be like, yeah, never mind. This isn't what I... you know, I think he was kind of the wrong guy to be like the ringleader of that whole thing, and Travis Barker too, like that team, like, you know, all that music that was coming out in that world. I don't know, I just found all that music to just, I didn't think it was very good or very like, it wasn't reminiscent of what I grew up with in the correct way, and I felt like it also wasn't pushing it into the future in the correct way either. And also, you know, aside from just musically, although I will say there are some newer bands that have come out that are kind of like doing that sound justice. Like, I think Honey Revenge is cool. Glimmers is like a cool band. You know, if you look around, there's cool stuff coming out. But just as a whole, I just wasn't, you know, also really the biggest problem I had was with the way that just the whole aesthetic and vibe of emo from the 2000s the aesthetic became kind of a cheap Halloween costume for everybody that like not everybody was even doing right. You know, I guess it's in the form of like all these Instagram emo meme pages and meme accounts on Facebook, and even people on TikTok who kind of adopt the scene core aesthetic or whatever. It all just kind of looks like a cheapened Halloween costume to me. Like I said, it's like if you go out to a bar for like 80s night, right? It's like how 80s hair metal is like remembered in this just corny nostalgia way that I doubt was how it actually felt at the time. And it's kind of ironic because to me, although it's like under the guise of people embracing this culture, the way that people perform it and present it now makes it look like a Halloween costume and then makes it corny again. So it, you know, in the initial stages of the emo revival, it was like, yeah, all these great records that I grew up with and bands I grew up with are being taken seriously now. But now, you know, everything on those meme pages and the whole, like, you know, it's not a phase, mom, fucking emo revival, like elder emo wave has spilled over, of course, into capitalism, because now you have all these festivals called, like, It's Not a Phase Fest and Emo Forever Festival, which I think those are real festivals. I'm just like, I'm not even trying to call out anybody specifically, but, you know, those are just the phrases they always use. It's not a phase, senior citizen with, like, scene elder emo, all that stuff. It's turned into this, just to me, this corny looking like Disney adult fucking, you know, wave of just nostalgia wank, nostalgia cash grab, like all the festivals and shit. It's just like, to me, it's like it's not anything futuristic or like as cool or interesting as I thought that an emo revival is going to be. That said, I don't really know what else I was expecting, because that kind of, it's not just emo that happens to. That happens to like every wave of music, 80s hair metal, grunge, like fucking hippie shit in the 60s. Like it all comes back around as this like costume nostalgia silly thing later that like isn't even really that similar to the original thing. I don't know. So for the last couple years I've already lost faith. I don't care about emo revival shit really. Like, you know, for me on this channel, I'm a documentarian. I don't consider myself a revivalist. When people ask me, are you excited for this thing? I'm like, yeah, that's cool, that's fine. I'm not against it, but I'm not like I don't root for emo as if it's like a sports team, you know? I'm not like, we gotta win. I don't really care if it's popular or not. I'm more just, I like to look at it objectively. I don't know, but maybe that's just me personally. So anyway, how does this, let's get to Warped Tour returning in 2025. You know, the scary looking rock sound guy said that it's just going to be some festival dates. I think it's going to be corny, because it's going to be just another one of these festivals, a When We Were Young fest, an It's Not a Phase fest, an Emo Forever fest. It's going to be exactly, this is just my prediction, it's going to be exactly like any of those. It's just going to have the Warped Tour name attached to it, which I'm saying just don't fuck with Warped Tour. You know, Warped Tour was very special and very cool and very like real and like legitimately magical when I would go to it as a kid. Like, don't fuck with that name. Like, maybe let that name, you know, because here's the thing, Warped Tour used to be what, like $40? You know, this festival I'm pretty sure is probably going to be like $300 at the least. Save that for something else, you know? Again, with the Disney adult thing, it's gonna be that sort of vibe. I'm pretty sure, I'm already predicting that the lineup is gonna be all the same bands that you already see on all of these elder emo Disney adult festivals. Hawthorne Heights is probably going to be there. Yellow Card is probably going to be busting out their violin. Mayday Parade, I'm guessing, you know, are on all of these. There's going to be like some random shit like Bowling for Soup, or, you know, the red jumpsuit apparatus. It's, you know, and of course a lot of people on the internet are joking about how like all of us who grew up going to Warped Tour are like not physically in the shape necessary to go to a Warped Tour now. We're all old, our backs hurt, we get heat exhaustion easily. I'm speaking on behalf of myself as well, for sure. Like, I will not be attending this. But those are just basically my thoughts on why I think it's going to be corny. And I'm tired of these festivals. I'm tired of revival mindset and emo nostalgia mindset. Like, I actually like futuristic shit, and I think there should be something new that comes in, you know, instead of just more of trying to rehash the past and how can we, you know, how can we make it 2005 again? Like, 2005 was great, but it's 20 years later. You know what I mean? We need to forge new paths, and not just cash in on my generation's nostalgia over and over and over again until it becomes just this sad joke. Because I'm tired of that. But like I said in the beginning, I'm not, you know, this is just me being like, you know, take a bong rip and get really deep into ethics and roots. At the end of the day, you know, I'm not, you know, if people want to spend a few $100s and go have fun at a festival with Yellow Card, I can't stop you. I'm going to be at home making more YouTube videos. So thank you guys for watching. These are just my thoughts. I went unfiltered with it, and, you know, even if you disagree with what I have to say, I hope you at least respect that I'm trying to speak my mind a little bit more on the internet, because I feel like I haven't always done that as much as I intend to in the future, because why not? I got nothing to lose. Who cares? So I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you to these people up here who support this channel over on Patreon. Patreon.com/thecozyrepresentative. If you want to help me keep the lights on and help see more of this, get some bonus content every month, you can join these lovely people in the link below patreon.com/thecozyrepresentative. Thank you all for tuning in. Yeah. Peace out, guys. Keep it fresh. Keep switching your style up. That's what we do. It's cool. It's cool. Outside the box. All right. Love you. Peace out.